The Boston Celtics have signed Nets legend, that's right, Nets legend, Lonnie Walker IV, to a 1-year, $2.6 million contract. Now, I'm not too sure if this contract is fully guaranteed. I believe it is because the Celtics had, I think, one roster spot open. I, for one, don't know how the hell Lonnie Walker was still available this late in free agency to begin with. He averaged 10, 2, and 1 last year in Brooklyn on 42, 38, 76 shooting splits. He was playing extremely good basketball before going down in mid-December with a hamstring injury. And this seems to be a reoccurring theme for Lonnie, kind of going too hard in the regular season pause, like early on, not taking breaks. Because at that point, we had guys in and out the lineup, and he was like our constant, common denominator, I guess, on the bench. And then came back, kind of just picked up where he left off. And look, I think this was a really good move for Boston. I think this is one of the most sneaky, underrated signings of the entire summer. So, obviously, Gio, I know you know a fair amount about Lonnie Walker, considering he played with your glorious king over in LA. So I'll kind of let you cook up a little bit.
Not LeBron James.
Yes.
For those who don't know.
Yes, for those that don't know, Gio has I would say an unhealthy obsession with Russell Westbrook.
Oh, my goodness. I'm not obsessed with Russell Westbrook. I'm a fan.
If you
Let's
want,
put it that way.
Okay, well, if we did upload a segment on Sunday about the top 15 point guards of all time, and Gio may or may not have crashed out. So
Yeah, I crashed out.
So yeah, I would say that's an unhealthy obsession, but it's okay.
Nah, that's just a reasonable crash out, I would say.
A reasonable crash out.
That's a reasonable crash out because where he was ranked on that list, I'm not going to give it away, but where he was ranked was just absolutely absurd.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
Go watch the video.
Right. But obviously, we know Lonnie Walker had said that Russ is the best teammate he's ever played with, but we're not talking about Russ. We're talking about Lonnie Walker IV, the Looney Walker dude. What do you think of this for himself? What do you think of this for Boston going forward?
I think Lonnie's a great piece. He's a very talented player. In his time in LA, he was like probably their best player coming off the bench besides Russ, of course. Actually, no, wait, did Russ start for LA?
He came off the...
He was both,
well,
right?
He was both, but I think if we're being honest, Lonnie was better than Russ on the Lakers.
Yeah. Lonnie was better than Russ. He averaged, 17 points coming off the bench?
All right, so now we'll call it a healthy obsession because you were realistic there.
He averaged 17 points, which is crazy, right?
Yeah.
He also played for the Spurs before that, right?
That was when he had the
That's
floofy
when they
hair.
drafted him.
Yeah, and he was I always was very high on Lonnie Walker.
Yeah.
When he was on the Spurs as well, he was like super athletic,
Right.
Player. He can shoot it a little bit, and he was playing under Popovich, so now he has the mental game behind it.
Exactly.
So, and then that transferred over very quickly to the Lakers. It was just unfortunate he got injured because he was a great player looking to get big money, but now
Still looking for the big money.
still looking for the big money.
Yeah.
But he has another opportunity in the league, which is as a blessing.
Exactly, because he said in a press conference, I think midway through the season, he wants a forever home. And I do think if we had kept a hold of Mikal Bridges, I do think we would have re-signed him to like a 3 or 4 year deal. But look, that's how ruthless this CBA is, because Lonnie Walker should be making well over $2.6 million.
Definitely.
Exactly.
And that's kind of the scope of this new NBA, right? Because I think if this new CBA didn't exist, you'd see a few things, right? I think you'd see the Nuggets still have Bruce Brown and KCP and Jeff Green and all them. You'd probably still have Goran Dragic and Blake Griffin and Joe Harris still in the league. And you'd probably have guys like Tyus Jones and Lonnie Walker making more money than what they ended up getting. So I think we're in a state now where guys in the rotation, like high-end role players, are getting an additional amount of baggage, I guess, is the right terminology for it.
Yeah.
And guys that don't play or are just hogging up a roster spot are not getting the benefit of the doubt anymore.
Yeah.
So it kind of is what it is. But anything from you, Antoine, regarding Lonnie Walker to the Boston Celtics?
It's a great bench piece because we know come playoff time they need guys to come off the bench. And if he's a part of that rotation with Hauser, Pritchard, presumably if Porzingis is healthy, Horford as well, so that you have a nice 4 guys coming off the bench. You leave one starter in there.
Yeah.
But no, Lonnie's a great player. When they drafted him in San Antonio, I wanted it to work because they were a really bad team rebuilding, and it was a nice pick they got. it fell right
really
to their
was,
lap.
yeah.
And he didn't really pan out there. And, he moved on to LA 2 years after COVID, then Brooklyn after that. And that's kind of been it for him. Now he stays east. He goes from Central America to West, now back to East, going up a little more northern in the East. Listen, if he gets a ring next year, that'll be much well-deserved, I think, for him. Just because, I feel like a player like him, he deserves to be on a good team to play well as well. And I think Boston could supply him with that. I feel like if he was playing for a really bad team, he could get a lot more minutes.
Oh, yeah.
But I think he wants to get a ring, which for him, it's going to be well-deserved.
Right.
Just, very classy guy, and always, never said anything bad to media.
Never did.
You never heard anything bad come out of his mouth. And he's a really nice person from what the videos I've seen, like interview-wise.
Yeah.
He went to UMiami, which that's new to me. I didn't know he went to UMiami.
I can tell he went to Miami.
He's
the hair he had coming out of
He is
out of
the
school.
offensive version of Bruce Brown, because
Yeah.
both guys went to Miami and they're both just insanely scrappy on either side of the floor. So I kind of always have grouped them together because they're both so good and they're both Nets legends now. So
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good to see for Lonnie specifically because we saw. I don't know if I'll tell you off camera the full story because it's not safe really to say on YouTube. But he has a history, a very dark history. And
Lonnie?
Yeah, and it's good to see where he is now because he's come a long way, and it's nothing he did wrong. It was stuff done to him.
Okay. Wow.
So that my respect already is like sky high for Lonnie.
Wow.
And kind of just seeing the journey of him, kind of finding his grip in the league with San Antonio to literally saving LeBron's ass in the second round 2 years ago against the Warriors just came up so clutch.
Yep.
And I think really just proved this past year in Brooklyn that he's still got it. He's still a very slept on piece in the
He's
NBA.
super slept on.
He's young.
He's super. He's like one of the
he's
most.
only- he's our age.
He's 24.
He's like one,
He's 25. He'll be 26 soon.
Yeah, close
he's
enough.
like one of the most forgotten players.
Yeah.
The players you don't think about at all.
That's the
and he could cook you though.
That's-
He's nice.
That's the tough part about being on a long-term tanking team because let's say he joined us in 2016, he would probably already be like a Derek White type player. But because San Antonio was trying to figure things out and then they decided to fully tank it out,
right.
you almost kind of got forgotten about.
Yeah.
I think the only ones to kind of make it through the woods there was Jakob Poeltl.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, really happy for Lonnie. I think he's going to come up really big in the playoffs for them specifically.
You think so?
Oh, absolutely.
Even with all the pieces that they have.
Because I think if you're going into this season kind of based on the pieces you have, you obviously don't know the durability of this year compared to last year because obviously you're playing all the way up until June.
Yeah.
And championship hangovers are real.
Yeah.
And sometimes it takes a new guy to just come onto the scene and give you new life.
Right.
And remember, we haven't had a repeat champs of the 2018 Warriors. So, and I think this is the only team that's got their full rotation back since that team. So I think it's going to be big for Boston, especially in a weak East. I think this kind of separated them further from Philly and Indiana and New York and all those teams. So it's just a good bolster signing, I would say.